students, how are you all? Okay, so let's start with today's class of class 12 biology. In the previous video we have discussed about the fertilization events in angiospermic plants, and related to that I will put the links of the videos, animated videos of the fertilization event in the description box so that you can check the link and see that animated videos for more clarity of the topics that we have already done. Next we will start with the post fertilization events, as till double fertilization we have discussed. Now the post fertilization events will take place. What will be the post fertilization events? Endosperm development, embryo development, seed development and fruit development. We will take up one by one. First let us see this structure of the ovary and ovule, that which part will undergo which type of development. So here you can see this is the ovary, and inside the ovary this is the ovule and an isotropous ovule. This is the micropilar end of the ovule and this is the chalosyl end of the ovule. So this outer ovary will develop into future fruit, ovule will form the seed, and the two layers, that is the integuments, will form the seed coat, and inside the ovule there was embryo sac, as we have already discussed. This embryo sac, after fertilization, what will happen with this embryo sac? Because you know that the end towards the micropilar end towards side has one fertilized egg, that is called zygote. This zygote will form future embryo. Now how does the development of this embryo takes place, we will discuss later. And the cells which are surrounding this zygote are the synergids, as we have already discussed in double fertilization. During the entry of male gamete, one synergid was degenerated and one was left, that will also undergo degeneration after fertilization. So the synergids will undergo degeneration, only the zygote will be left, that will form future embryo. Then in this embryo sac towards the chalosyl end there were antipodal cells. Now after fertilization the antipodal cells will also undergo degeneration, because there is no use of these antipodal cells after fertilization. Now in the center there was the primary endosperm nucleus, that was a triploid cell, because it was formed by triple fusion. So this primary endosperm nucleus will form future endosperm, that we will study in endosperm development. And this embryo sac was surrounded by nucellus or nucellar tissue. As we know that one of the cell of the nucellus act as a megaspore mother cell and will form embryo sac for fertilization. Later on, the cells which were remaining of the nucellus will help them to convert all these parts into their future parts. Okay, so nucellus will be slowly used up by this whole processes of post fertilization events. So this is all about how the development takes place. Let us start with the endosperm development first. Okay, so let's see the next step of post fertilization events, that is embryo development. So in the previous step we have discussed the endosperm development. Next is how the development of embryo takes place. So you know that embryo is developed from zygote by mitotic divisions, and the early stages of development of embryo is called embryogeny. Embryogenesis is the early stages of development of embryo. Okay, so and you know that seeds are of two types on the basis of the presence, how many cotyledons are there in the seed, that is dicotyledonary seed or monocotyledonary seed, that you are learning from from 9th class, that there are two types of seed, dicot seeds, monocot seeds, because they have two cotyledons in them, they have one cotyledon in them. So here we will discuss about the embryogeny in dicot embryo, how the dicot embryo undergoes the development. First we will take up the early stages of development here, then we will see the further development. So let's start with the zygote first. The zygote is in this arrangement that the microbial end is towards this side and chalazial end is towards upper side. All the divisions in the zygote for formation of embryo will be mitotic divisions. So first the zygote will undergo first mitotic division to form a two-celled structure. Out of these two cells, the cell which is towards chalaza is the terminal cell and the cell which is towards microbile is the basal cell. So you should not confuse with the position of the cells. You should keep in mind it is not like the lower cell is always basal cell and the upper cell is terminal cell. You have to relate it with the chalaza and the microbile end. So the cell which is towards chalaza is the terminal cell and the cell which is towards microbile is the basal cell. Okay. Now these two cells will undergo further mitotic divisions. Let's see how. First we'll see this basal cell undergo division. When this basal cell, it undergoes a transverse division. Transfer division, you know that now, it means one over other. So it will undergo transverse division to form these so many cells. So these cells will arrange themselves one over the other in such a way, and the cells are very much intact, and the last cell is slightly rounded in shape and this cell is called haustorial cell. This cell is called haustorial cell, and this arrangement of the cells which are formed from the basal cell is called suspensor. So this arrangement of all the cells which have been developed from the basal cell is called suspensor. Now why this type of arrangement is there in basal cell? Because this suspensor is a long structure which help the embryo to push inside the endosperm. As you know that endosperm will provide nutrition to the embryo. So this suspensor will help to push up the embryo deep inside the endosperm so that it can get nourishment from the endosperm. Then the cell which is at the end is called haustorial cell. We will see later the function of this suspensor in detail. Now let's see how the terminal cell undergo division. The terminal cell will undergo division not like the basal cell. Though it will undergo mitotic division, but it will show pericliner division, means it will show division in all the planes. As the basal cell has undergo division in one plane only, but the transverse cells will undergo division in all the planes. So one cell will form 2, 2 will form 4, 4 will form 8 in all the planes. But we are showing here like this. Now there are 4 cells and this structure carrying 4 cells is called proembryo. So this upper structure which have been formed from the terminal cell is called proembryo, which will later form the embryo of the seed. Okay. So is it clear now how the suspensor as well as the proembryo have been developed? Sometimes it is also called proembryonal quadrate because it has 4 cells, that is why it is called proembryonal quadrate. Okay. Now let's come to the next step. So this proembryo will undergo further division to form the 8-celled structure. But these 8 cells are not like that. I have shown here all the 8 cells in front, but these 8 cells are arranged themselves in all the planes. I have shown you here the arrangement like this, but actual arrangement is not like this. Some of the cells are at the back side which are not visible to us, but I have shown you like this because we will see means how which cell is going to form which part and what will be the further changes are going to be taken place in these 8 cells. That is why I am showing you here, but it is not the actual image, it is just an imaginary image that the 8 cells are present in front, but the cells, some of the cells are present at the back side which are not visible because they are present in all the three-dimensional planes. Now these 4 cells have been divided into 8 cells and this 8 cell structure is called proembryonal octave. Now it is called octave because octave contains 8 cells. Earlier it was called proembryonal quadrate, now it is called proembryonal octave. Now what happens with this suspensor? Suspensor will remain intact, but it will undergo a slight, the cells will come closer to each other. Okay, so here you can see the cells has come closer to each other. The haustorial cell will remain intact But the first cell of the suspensor, which is in direct contact with the proembryonal structure, will be called as hypophysis. Why it is different from the other cells, we will see later. So it is called hypophysis. So is this structure clear to you? This is the proembryonal octave having 8 cells in it. Then the next cell, that is the first cell of suspensor, called hypophysis. Then this is the suspensor, and the last one is the haustorial cell. Now let's see the pericliner division in transverse cell. Sorry, terminal cell. So as you know, or proembryo you can say. So the suspensor will remain same. The suspensor will remain same. There will be no further division in it. But if you will see this proembryonal octave, it will further undergo pericliner division. After this pericliner division, you can see one cell, that was a single cell, it will undergo division to form 2 cells. One cell is the terminal and one is the inner cell. Similarly in this, similarly in this. So they will form such type of arrangement. And due to this, an outer layer will be formed, which is called as dermatogens. These outer cells are called dermatogens. So this will be the pericliner division that takes place in the proembryonal axis, in the proembryonal octave. So the suspensor cell will remain same, haustorial cell, hypophysis, everything is intact. Now after this pericliner division, the suspensor cell will also undergo division along with this hypophysis. So the upper 4 cells, as you can see here, will undergo division. Pericliner division means they are not in this form. I have shown you in the front only, but they are present in the 3-dimensional form. Some are at the back. But I am showing you all the 8 cells here because the hypophysis here will undergo first division to form 2 cells, then second division to form 4 cells, and then third division to form 8 cells. So I am showing you these 8 cells here. The suspensor is intact. ये जो suspensor है ये ऐसे का ऐसे ही रहेगा. The hypophysis will undergo the pericliner division to form the 8 cells. Keep in mind, this is not the actual structure. So in your books also it has been shown in a different way, but you can also draw it like this to make it more clear. Okay. So let's see the fate first. Means which part will form which part of the future embryo. Okay. So you can see here the last 2 cells of the hypophysis of this arrangement of cells. These last 2 cells will form root cap and root tip. As you can see, if we draw a root, there will be a root cap present around the root and there will be a root tip. So these last 2 cells will form root cap and root tip. Now the above 2 cells, which is towards the proembryonal side, will form the root cortex, means this part. They will form the root cortex. Now let's see these proembryonal cells. You can see here that half of the cells, you can see this line, it is dividing it into the lower half and the upper half. The lower half 2 layer of the cells will form hypocotyle and the upper half layer of the cell will form plumule and cotyledon. Is it clear? Let me repeat it again, the fate of the embryo, so that you will be more clear. The lower 2 cells of this hypophysis will form root cap and root tip. The upper 2 cells, which is towards this embryonal axis, will form root cortex. The lower 2 cells of the pre-embryonal structure will form hypocotyle and the upper 2 cells will form the plumule and cotyledon. Now let's see how the suspensor, what is the significance of suspensor, means how the suspensor will help the embryo to get nutrition from the endosperm. So let's see what role is the suspensor will play in the development of the embryo. So here you can see this is the ovule and this is the embryo sac. The endosperm has been already developed. And one more important point, that the zygote will undergo embryo development after a small development of the endosperm, because you know that zygote will get nourishment to form embryo from the endosperm. So when a little of embryo sperm will be developed, after that the zygote will undergo development to form endosperm. Then later on, so that they can get nutrition from the embryo sperm, later on the development of endosperm as well as the embryo, they will take up side by side. So here you can see the embryo sac will be completely filled up by this endosperm tissue, and this is the developing embryo. So the upper part is the proembryo and the lower part is the suspensor. So this suspensor will help this proembryo to push up in the endosperm so that it can get nourishment from the endosperm for further development. Now let's see how we have discussed till the globular structure of the embryo. Now how this embryo globular structure will develop into the various other parts which are easily visible, as we have discussed the fate. Now let's see how the further development will take place. Okay, so let's see the further development of dicot embryo. Till this structure we have discussed, and this stage is called the globular stage because the cells are in the globular form. Now as we have already discussed, the outer, let's start from the lower part. The upper two cells will form the root cortex, the lower two cells of the hypophysis will form the root cap and root tip. The upper two cells of the proembryonal axis will form the hypocotyle, and the upper two will form the plumule and cotyledons. Now let's see how this structure will be formed. Now if you will see this part will help to just embed into the endosperm. So this part we will not take up. Now the further development will take up in the hypophysis part. The lower two layer of the cells will form the root cap and root tip. So this type of structure will be formed by further division, mitotic division of the lower two cells. So the lower one will form the root tip, root cap, and the upper one will form the root tip. Now the upper two cells of the hypophysis that were forming the future root cortex, they will also undergo division to form the root cortex. Now let's see in the proembryonal structure. The lower two layer of the cells were forming the hypocotyle. So here you can see the lower two layer of the cells, they undergo division to form the hypocotyle, and the upper two layer of the cells undergoes division to form cotyledon and plumule. Now these cells will undergo division, mitotic divisions to form cotyledons, and the structure which is present just at the tip is called plumule. When these cotyledons will be formed, they will take up the shape like this because it is a dicot embryo, so it has to be formed two cotyledons. So this cotyledon formation will give this structure a heart-shaped structure, a heart-shaped stage. So this stage will be called as heart-shaped stage. Okay, is it clear? The upper two layers, the upper layer will form the plumule and cotyledon, and the lower layer will form the hypocotyle. So this stage is called heart-shaped stage. Next is when this cotyledons will further undergo more and more division, their size will increase. But as they have to reside inside a very small seed, so there is very less space, so they cannot grow in the upward direction. So what they will do, the both cotyledons will undergo division and undergo growth and will bend downwards. So these two cotyledons which were growing from the heart-shaped stage will bend downwards. So when they will bend downwards, they will take up the shape like this. So this shape is already same, is exactly same, but only the shape which is for the development of or further growth of cotyledons will be changed. So here you can see it will bend towards downside, lower side. Okay, so this shape is called horseshoe shaped. Okay, so you should be remember all the stages. First stage was globular stage, then heart-shaped stage, then horseshoe stage. Then this structure, if you will see the embryo or the seed, then like for example, if you will see a pea seed and we'll open the pea seeds from the between and split it into the two parts, then you will see that in the center there will be an embryonal axis that is not too much big. We have shown you just to make you more clear. So in the center there is an embryonal axis. At the two sides, these two cotyledons are present, which are attached together at a point called node. Now the part which is the tip of the embryonal axis, which is upper side, is called plumule, and which is at the lower side is called radicle. Now the portion between the node and the plumule is called epicotyle, and the portion between the node and the radicle is called hypocotyle. And you should remember the micropylar and the chalazal end in the same direction, chalazal end the above and micropylar end the lower side. So this is all about the development of the diploid embryo, how the diploid embryo will be formed. Okay, so let's see the endosperm development here. So endosperm, you know that it is a nutritive tissue and it has been developed from the primary endosperm nucleus. So the primary endosperm nucleus is a triploid cell. Let's see how the development of endosperm takes place. It can be either in the form of nuclear endosperm or cellular endosperm. So let's see how. See, this is the primary endosperm nuclear cell, PEN. So in case of nuclear endosperm, it will undergo only karyokinesis, means the nucleus will divide to form many nuclei, but there will be no cytokinesis. Okay, so this endosperm having so many nuclei is called nuclear endosperm, and it is found as coconut water. Like we tender coconut water that we have generally, the coconut water is actually a nuclear endosperm because endosperm is a nutritive tissue. Next case is the cellular endosperm. In case of cellular endosperm, the primary endosperm nucleus will undergo normal karyokinesis followed by cytokinesis. That happens in a normal mitosis process. So one cell will form two cells, two will form four, and then further division will take place to form a mass of cells. That will be called as cellular endosperm. So is it clear? In case of nuclear endosperm, only nuclei will form, and in case of cellular endosperm, all the nuclei will be surrounded by the cytoplasm to form cellular endosperm. And cellular endosperm is found as white portion of the coconut. So all of you have seen the coconut. So inside the coconut we have coconut water, that is the nuclear endosperm, and around that coconut water we have a layer of white portion which is actually the cellular endosperm. So how it happens, like how the both the types of endosperms are there. Like in case of, if you will see in coconut, first the primary endosperm nucleus will undergo karyokinesis to form this nuclear endosperm. Then later on the cells at the periphery or the nuclei at the periphery will accumulate cytoplasm around them to form a layer of cells around them, which is called as cellular endosperm. So you can see here in the center, the water part have nuclear endosperm, and around the nuclear endosperm, the white portion is having the cellular endosperm. So these are the two types of development of the endosperm. And while the endosperm development, the nucellular tissue surrounding the endosperm or the embryo sac generally undergoes degeneration. तो जब एंडोस्पर्म की डेवलपमेंट होती है उस टाइम पे न्यूसेलस टिश्यू जो है वो कम्प्लीटली डीजेनरेट हो जाता है. ओके, as we have already discussed, the nucellus is generally for the development of these following structures which will take place after in the form of post-fertilization events. Now it is not like that every seed, all the seeds have endosperm in that, because as I told you, endosperm is a nutritive tissue which provides nutrition to the developing embryo. If you will see in the embryo sac, we have in the center endosperm, and here we have zygote. So this endosperm will divide and will cover this whole embryo sac, so that this developing embryo will get the nutrition from this endosperm. But sometimes the development of the embryo utilize the whole endosperm, and the developing seed will be called as non-endospermic seed. In that case, all the whole endosperm will be utilized by the embryo for its nourishment. Then the seed will be called as non-endospermic seed. But in some cases, the endosperm will retain. It will not be completely utilized by the developing embryo. That seed will be called as endospermic seed. When we will discuss the seed development, then we will discuss in detail the endospermic as well as non-endospermic seeds. So next we will take up the seed development.